getting married, oh, thank God. I just thank God, honestly. At least let me be helping my mother. Let me be helping her. She has suffered so much. My name is Sandra Ezeji Anyaele. I am your Marriage Foundation reality coach. I want to thank all those that have subscribed to my channel. I want to say a very big thank you to them. I really appreciate. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? This is a channel that talks about reality, marriage foundation reality, and nothing more. Today, I want us to talk about an interesting topic. It goes like this. How do you know you are ready for marriage? Yes, you heard me. How do you know you are ready for marriage? First and foremost, you have to realize that marriage is not a problem-solving institution. A lot of us make that mistake. Marriage is not a problem-solving institution. In the scenario, we heard the lady thanking God for bringing a man her way, a husband. And what was her reason? Her reason was that she wanted to help her mother. Her reason was that the mother has suffered so much and she wants to help her. Now, think of it this way. If that is your reason for getting married, then you are not ready, because surprisingly, marriage is not a problem-solving institution. Yes, it is not. When you want to marry and your reason for getting married is obviously for the wrong reasons, you have started failing even before entering the marriage. Yes, a lot of times we feel that when we get married, our problems will be solved. In fact, all our problems will be solved. No, it is not so. It is not so. That is why it is very important that you develop yourself before you marry. Developing yourself means if you want to get an education, if there's money for you to do that, get an education. If you want to learn a skill, empower yourself. As a matter of fact, singleness is a time for you to develop yourself. Know the things you are created to do. Know the things that you can do and earn money. If you are a student, for instance, finish school. Get a job if possible, so that when you marry, you can even help out. Because to tell you the truth, if you are not bringing anything to the table, then you feel like you are in prison or you'll be disappointed in marriage. That is why I always advise people, before you get married, know who you are. Discover yourself. By the time you discover yourself, you will know exactly what you want. Yes, you will know exactly what you want. You might also be thinking, yes, when I marry, there will be a lot of intimacy. Intimacy is not enough. After the intimacy, what next? After the intimacy, what next? Let us just give it 1 hour. Or let me just give a bonus hour, 2 hours. In a day, you have 24 hours. What will you be doing with the remaining hours? Do you know that in marriage, you do more of talking? Yes, you do more of talking. Because it is in the talking that you get the bonding. When you talk, you bond. Talk about anything. But if you don't have anything that you have brought to the table, what do you talk about? Is it your partner that will be doing all the talking and you will be there moping? Is it your partner that will just be suggesting, let us talk about it, let us talk about that? It will be boring. But if you have something to talk about, for the rest of your life, what will you be talking about? Yes, because you are staying with this person for the rest of your life, as long as you both shall live, yes. But what will you be talking about? If you don't have anything to talk about, then there's a problem. There's a problem. Ask yourself, where am I going? Before you think of getting married, ask yourself, where am I going? Where do I want to go? Let me start an example. If you want to go to Lagos, for instance, and maybe you're flying or you're applying the road, whichever way, you are sure going to Lagos. Do you enter a cab going to Jos? No. Do you enter a cab going to Owerri? No. You enter a cab going to Lagos because that's your destination. Now, if you want a partner, because your partner has to help you fulfill your purpose. If you have a partner that is going to Aba and you are going to Lagos, it will not work. That is why it is important for you not to rush into marriage. Know who you are. Find out your purpose. Then you will know what you want. You will not look for the person that will help you fulfill that purpose. That is just it. That is just it. If you have not yet discovered who you are, then I'm afraid you are not ready for marriage. I was pissed sometime last month because a certain lady invited me to her daughter's wedding. Why was I pissed? I was pissed because this girl was just 19 years old, first year in the university. And the woman was just jubilating when she was invited. She was just jubilating. She said that God has finally answered her prayers. That the husband agreed to train her in the university. And I was like, what? Is that why you're giving out your daughter in marriage? That is why I said I started this channel so that I will talk about so many things that people don't talk about. So many things that people don't talk about. I talk about realities. Yes, I talk about realities. Oftentimes, parents are happy, especially the mother, they are happy that their children are getting married. But how empowered are these children? How can you give out a first year student? How can you give her out in marriage? Just because probably you think the person will. What if after the marriage, the person feels or thinks, I don't have the money again? She will stop schooling. Meanwhile, this girl, her purpose is for her to be a medical doctor. Have you seen what you have caused? That dream, you just wasted that dream. You just wasted that dream because you gave her out early in marriage. Parents don't even find out their children's purpose. They don't even know. Their own is you are of marriage age, marry. So you will know when you are ready to marry, when you have realized that marriage is more of communication. Are you willing to give out your time? Are you willing to wait for the right time for the person that you'll be able to communicate with comes around? Are you willing to talk about realities? Are you willing to follow it the right way? If your answer is no, then you are not ready for marriage. Another reason you will know you are ready for marriage is when you are willing to give more than you are receiving. Yes, you heard me. When you are willing to sacrifice. When you are willing to build a home with somebody. Building a home with somebody does not mean that your 1 naira will not come out though. No. It means that you are willing to give out. Give. You are willing to sacrifice. That's what it means. Then you are ready for marriage. But if you are still thinking that man coming, God has brought him my way to solve all my problems, then you are not ready. Then you are not ready. Another thing we also talk about is being financially capable. Yes. Yes. You have to be financially capable. We are not saying that you should have the whole world. It's not what we are saying. But you should be able to pay certain bills. Let's say, for instance, that your husband was working, or both of you were even working, and you got married. Very well. But things happen. Yes, things happen. Now, let me tell you the 3 hours. If you are working, the 3 hours you must meet when you are working. You can either retire, you can either be retrenched, or you can resign. Yes. These are the 3 hours. So, assuming your husband comes home or your wife comes home with a letter that he or she has been returned, what do? Is it not the time that the other partner will pick up from where the other one, the thing that the other one was doing? It's only you that will be doing it. So if you don't have that frame of mind yet that marriage is about giving more than receiving, then you are not ready, my dear. You are not ready. Honestly, you are not ready. That's the truth. Another thing we should not neglect again if we are considering marriage or if we think we are ready to marry, another thing we should think about seriously is this person that I want to marry, or am I willing to wait until I see the right person for me to marry? I gave an example of you going to Lagos and you have seen a man that wants to marry you professing love and the person is going to Aba. If you think when you marry this person will help you fulfill your purpose, you might be wrong, because obviously your destination is not the same, and you cannot spoil your marriage by starting, this person is going to Sokoto, me I'm going to Jos. You already know that it will not work, and by the time you make that costly mistake, you start calling God. This one is not everything that you talk about. God has given you the willpower. God has given you the wisdom to think through before you take any decision. God will not take the decision for you. It is your decision. So whatever you decide to do, that is what you will see. Whatever you decide to do, that is what you will see. And when you are thinking of getting married, don't think that when you get married, everything will fall into place. No, it's not like that. Ask yourself, the person I'm getting married to is not perfect. What do I do when things are not going the way we planned it from beginning? That is where maturity comes in. I want to say something now. Maturity is not about age. I'm not talking about age. Because you can see a man or a woman of 50 years behaving still like a child. So maturity is not about age. I'm talking about being financially matured, being emotionally matured, being socially matured. Because there are things you see in marriage and you are like, what? I didn't bargain for this. So when you are not matured, both emotionally, financially, and otherwise, my sister, my brother, you are not ready for marriage. These are some of the things that nobody will tell you. They are just interested in your age, get married. But these are realities that if not properly addressed, you will meet in your marriage. And by the time you meet it, if not well handled, it will bring about chaos and sometimes divorce. Is that what you want for yourself? Before you think of getting married, ask yourself, why do I even want to marry? Is marriage an escape route? If you answered yes to that, you are not ready for marriage. Because marriage is not an escape route. You are supposed to enjoy your marriage. You are supposed to enjoy your marriage. Yes. And when you make that mistake of marrying for the wrong reason, you have failed it. It takes a matured mind. It takes somebody that is, somebody that is pliable. It takes somebody that is teachable. It takes somebody that, I want to yield. If you cannot yield, then you are not ready for marriage. Because there are certain things you will see and you're like, what's this? I'm out. But if you have the ability to yield, you will say, after all, we are coming from different, social background and everything. We can always compromise. We can always yield to each other. That is just the truth. Marriage is a beautiful thing if you get it right. I know this video has made sense to you. And like I always say, if there's any content you feel I should talk about, or any content maybe you remember, just tell me in the comment section. I'll talk about it. I need to talk about, because we want to get it right. We want to get it right. We want to do things right. Yes, we want to do it right. We want to get the proper information we need in order to get married. We want to get the proper information we need in order to remain married. Because getting married is another thing, then remaining married is another thing also. It comes from the mind. Make up your mind to do the right thing from the beginning. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do so. Like, share, turn on your notification button so that anytime I upload a new video, you will just be the first to get it. I would like to see you in my next video.